All began yesterday after this man, James Lee, burst into the building with a gun and explosives. He took 3 hostages, and after a nearly 4-hour standoff, a police SWAT team shot and killed Lee. The hostages were unarmed.
Well, hours after this drama ended, there were a series of detonations by police that could be heard near the scene. It turns out James Lee had a history of gripes against the Discovery Network. There you can hear, actually, those detonations going off. Amber Lyon is live in Washington with more on this story. As we talked about, it wasn't until 1 o'clock in the morning that the all clear was given. I mean, this played out from yesterday afternoon on into this morning. Give us the latest right now on what the investigation is yielding.
Okay, well, a lot of people have been looking into the mental state of 43-year-old James Lee, and we spoke with a forensic psychologist. And just to put things into perspective this morning, she compares Lee's mental state to that of Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. This psychologist, Dr. Helen Morrison, says that Lee apparently had some type of paranoid disorder accompanied with rage, and that rage was directed at Discovery Communications. We tapped into an online manifesto that Lee had written directed towards the network, where he says the network wasn't doing enough to save the planet. In this manifesto, he orders them to change their programming and get rid of any shows that glorify human birth. Apparently, Lee was pretty obsessed with overpopulation, even referred to human infants as parasitic at one point. Lee was also a big environmentalist and really into wildlife. At one point in that manifesto, he said, quote, "Nothing's more important than saving them. The lions, tigers, giraffes, elephants, froggies, turtles, apes, raccoons, beetles, ants, sharks, bears, and, of course, the squirrels." Now, we spoke with some people near to the Discovery Communications building. He used to hang out at a coffee shop. They say Lee would come in there every day dressed in green military-style clothing as if he was about to head into battle. And they also said one thing was for sure, every single day Lee was complaining about this network.
So what do you mean when you say you knew something wasn't right?
Well, his opinions about things, we couldn't understand why he hated the Discovery Channel. We just couldn't figure that out.
Every single day he was talking about how much he hated the Discovery Channel.
Yes, every day. And something about children, having an overpopulation of children, he had a problem with that as well.
Did anyone at Borders say, "What the heck are you doing, Mr. Lee," and start arguing with him?
Oh, there were discussions, yes. There were a lot of people that just said, well, he's just crazy, and just blow it off, things of that nature.
And this isn't Lee's first run-in with the law. 2 years ago, a judge ordered him to stay away from the Discovery Communications building after he hosted a quite unruly rally where he was just throwing thousands of dollars of cash in the air. Allie, Kieran.
Amber, thanks very much. Amber Lyon in D.C. on that story. And just ahead at 6:40 Eastern, about 20 minutes from now, we're going to talk with Summer Mathis. He's a blogger who's familiar with James Lee's online rantings against the Discovery Network. He said as soon as he heard this, she said as soon as she heard this news yesterday that she immediately thought of James Lee. She thought this had to be him.
Right, so we're just going to find out more about that. And I mean, it was just surreal to hear the explosions going off into the night as they were trying to detonate.